André, how are you?
I'm
Doing
fine.
well?
Yes, thank you. I'm fine.
You've been playing a few shows, already for the new record. How's the tour been so far?
It was amazing, so to say, because we played already, I think, more than 60 shows for that album, and most of the shows were sold out. It's amazing the reaction on the new songs, and I mean the reaction on the show in general is amazing. We get great feedbacks every day, and I think the band is in a really good shape. The performance is tight. Everybody is really good prepared, and the set list is, let's say, the best of the best.
Is it easy, with so many records, when it comes to a set list, to pick up, first of all, fans want to hear certain songs.
Yeah.
But you guys want to play certain songs as well.
Exactly. Yeah, it's long discussions. It's not easy to put it together. But since we did the Somewhere Far Beyond tour 2 years ago, well, 1.5 years ago, we figured that that fast approach, that speed approach, was really doing something good for us. Playing the Somewhere Far Beyond in one piece was extraordinary, powerful, and we wanted to keep that quality of the show for the new album as well. So we put songs together that have a kind of same flow from the dynamic, same aggression, and same speed. We skipped lots of mid-tempo songs this time, and brought in more melodic speed metal songs, and people appreciate it. But it's really exhausting for us. I mean, after 2 hours you are dead. But we don't care. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And we enjoy that more brutal set list.
Do you realize that fans, because you guys did an orchestral record, which was very interesting, and I think it's nice to branch out and always try something new. But do you feel that playing the heavy stuff is what the fans want you guys to do?
Well, I don't consider our orchestra album as a Blind Guardian album. That's why we called it different, and to make clear that was a different project. Of course, Blind Guardian started as a speed metal band, as a melodic speed metal band. And that is our roots, and that's where we are sticking to. And I know that most of our fans appreciate exactly that style. You can see that even the very early stuff like Majesty, Banished from Sanctuary is still very appreciated.
Yes.
And of course, we want to make our fans happy, so we try to play tiny bits from each album. And from the latest albums, of course, there's lots of epic material, but since we have a limited amount of time during a show, we always choose only one epic song, maybe sometimes two. So since this is the God Machine album, we play American Gods very often, which is kind of epic song. Yeah. And if you add something like Sacred Worlds, that's all we need from the, let's say, orchestral and epic approach. Yeah. And beside this, we play like some fast songs from each album. Yeah.
And Imaginations, you did the 25th anniversary tour for Imaginations. Yeah. The album is approaching its 30th anniversary. Yeah. That was the first album you guys did outside Germany. How was that experience recording that album?
We recorded it with Fleming Rasmussen in Denmark, and of course, since Fleming was famous for doing the best Metallica albums, it was, let's say, it was more than an honor to work with him. We were like the excited kids, and all of a sudden the door to the big music world opened, and we could work with on a level that we have not known before. And yeah, we learned a lot. It was a great time. We were in such a great mood, and you can hear that feeling, or you feel it in the album, that there was lots of positive energy. And I think that it wouldn't be the same album without Fleming and recording it in that studio.
Did you guys learn a lot working with him?
Yes. I mean, he gave us, all of us, a hard time. Really hard time. I thought, oh my God, you need to start all over with playing guitar. And it was a good lesson that I learned, because he taught us how to be really tight. And before we were more like a easygoing rock and roll, fun punk, whatever band. but then Fleming said, well, you want to play speed metal, then you have to be fucking tight. And that's what we did.
Yeah. And, speaking of the songs, we were speaking about the set list, and the Bard song in the forest. It's just one of those moments that, every fan of Blind Guardian is expecting.
Yeah.
After you guys recorded that song and released and played live and realized the reactions, do you ever consider not playing that song?
I think that's an impossible mission. People would hate us if we wouldn't play it. It became kind of a metal hymn, and we are proud of this, of course, because, I mean, even if you don't know Blind Guardian, you know the Bard song.
Yeah.
If you are into rock music, metal music, and when we play the Bard song, for example, in Wacken, in front of like 70, 80,000 people, and everybody knows the lyrics, everybody is singing along, then it's just the goosebump moment. Yeah. And we enjoy it. Of course, this is one of the highlights of the show, and we would be stupid to skip it. So the Bard song is set, you can be sure, and it's always creating fantastic moments all over the world.
Yeah. And, I remember, I think the first time I saw you guys was at Wacken, actually, 2001 or 2002, and seeing you, playing in your home crowd.
Yeah.
It was a different experience.
Yeah, it's always magical, yeah.
Wacken is a special place for you guys to play. What do you think is so special about that festival?
Well, for us, it has a special place in our heart because we were one of the first bigger bands they had. We played the first, or not, the very, very first Wacken was a tiny little thing, but then the second one we played in, it was 91. It was the second one, and it was the first one which had 1,000 people. And we were the headliner. So we started with Wacken. Yeah. And it's always that memory, all the memories come up when you go there and you see how big it became, and that is like the gathering of all metal fans around the world. And we are kind of proud that we were a part of building this whole thing.
Yeah, I remember when I went like 2 or 3 years in a row to Wacken, 2000, 2001, 2002 or something like that. And it was unique experience.
Yeah.
When it comes to festivals and anything, seeing that sea of people. Obviously, I did download after, and I normally prefer to go to Bloodstock, to be honest, now these days, because it's a smaller but still, good enough festival. Mm-hmm. But, those first Wackens, they are just, being able to see, Blind Guardian for the first time, Sabotage there as well, Motorhead with the Bomber, Venom with the original lineup. There's some stuff that only happens there, and that only happened there. Yeah. And it was just, magical experience. And you guys are going back to Portugal finally in August. What do fans can expect from, because it's a festival, it's not like a club show, let's say.
Yeah, of course. A festival is different, but we have a really good setup for the festivals. We played many festivals last year, and let's say it's kind of the same set list, just a little bit more compressed, because we don't have the same amount of time. Yeah. We have to shorten it a little bit here and there. but the basics are the same. And and now that we are really used to play open airs, you will have kind of almost the same experience like you would have in a regular Blind Guardian show.
Yeah. If you have like your own team for sound and lights, obviously you need to have, normally that doesn't go wrong unless someone in a festival tells you they have these or that, and when you get there, they don't have any of it.
Well, in the early days, we always had problems in the festivals, and it's sometimes it can be really difficult, but now we have a really good team. We have a great crew, we know our setup, and we know what to bring if we go in a festival situation, so yeah.
Do you remember probably the worst, a not so pleasant experience, let's say, in a festival? What was what is the worst that can happen?
The worst that can happen is that for example, there was one time we traveled to Brazil. There was a festival, 2-day or 3-day festival announced in, oh my God, I forgot the city. But it was with Megadeth and some other good bands. And in the end, we were there, we wanted to play, but the promoter didn't pay the people, so they took off the equipment and we couldn't play. We were there, we couldn't play. All the people were paid lots of money to see the bands and they didn't get the money back, so they were completely ripped off. The bands traveled 2 days to get there and in the end couldn't perform, and everybody was totally frustrated, and that's the worst situation I can imagine, that you cannot have the happy time with your people, and and some promoter who did totally bullshit for everybody is getting away with it. That's the most terrible situation.
Yeah, and with the new album, most recent album coming out, are you guys already thinking of new music? Or you guys prefer to do the touring cycle, finish all that, and then?
Yeah, we prefer to finish the touring cycle, but we work on a project which I cannot announce now, but we are working on something that is not a regular Blind Guardian album, but a very, very interesting piece of music. And because when it comes to new songs, I really need to have a free mind, a relaxed mind, and I cannot do that in a hallway somewhere between X and Y. It needs to be at home with a good mood, and so I will wait until August when we play the last shows, and then I can finally start songwriting again. But I collected some ideas. Whenever I prepare for the touring, I warm up, and sometimes the riff shows up that you say, wow, that's a cool riff.
Yeah.
And I kept all these ideas. So let's say I have like a treasure box at home, and I collected already some really nice riffs that I will probably use later on. But beside this, there's no song that you can say is a song or something. Yeah. It's just a few ideas.
Yeah. Does it take time for you to finish writing a song? Depends, or it does?
It depends what kind of music it is. If it's an epic song with orchestral arrangements, with a really special dynamic to build up, then it becomes really tricky and difficult, and it can take up to 6 months, or maybe you even change the last things a year later. That is always in a process until the production is really finalized. But a fast song like, let's say, Violent Shadows, well, we had a flow, Hansi, and we were in that brutal attitude. I don't know why, and it was finished in 3 weeks. So it really depends.
Yeah. What was the song that took the longest for you guys to finish? Do you remember one that?
Yes, that was definitely, and then there was Silence, because it was an epic song. It was the first time we tried out that way of songwriting, so epic and with so much orchestra, and it was completely new world for us. So we needed to do many experiments before we reached the point that we were satisfied. And also in the production, we didn't know how to handle the mixing of orchestra and metal parts. It was really tricky, and it took most time of the production of A Night at the Opera was spent in that one song. I would say it was a third of the album, of the time, money, whatever, was in that song. Yeah.
But it was worth it in the end.
Thank you.
For the fan standpoint, it was worth it for you guys. Probably don't want to listen to that song ever again.
Okay, thank you. Well, actually, we even play it live sometimes, and it's fun. Now that we figured out how it works, But in the beginning, it was pain in the ass.
Having with technology evolving so much, is it easier to record these days than it was, let's say in the beginning when you guys started?
I don't think there is any difference from the creative point of view, because you cannot force a good idea with equipment. You can buy the highest high-end equipment, pay lots of money, but the basic idea you can find sitting on the toilet. You don't need anything, It speeds up recording for my taste. That is a good point of view, because in the early days you had the tapes and you always needed to rewind. And that rewinding took so much time if you had a slave tape and it needed to log, synchronize, blah, blah, blah. And I already lost my playing mood of the accuracy before I could play a second time or a third time. So now it's fast. Now you record in Pro Tools. Go. It can be fast. And that's how I like to record my guitar. So that is a big advantage. But from the sound quality, I still like many things of the analog recording better. Because especially with the drums, for example, that tape compression gave a warm, very, very pleasant sound to the drums, which I miss in all digital recordings. So what we did with our last album, we did a mix of analog and digital. We didn't record everything digital. We rented an old 24-track analog tape machine and recorded the drums and other things there, and we got back to analog compressions, which really made a difference, especially in the guitar sound. All that pumping shit, that is analog, that is not digital.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was going to ask about the new record, because it was a really nice sound compared to what you hear normally these days.
Yeah.
When it comes to the live setup as well, you still use proper amps and pedals, or you use the Kemper? Or
I switched to Kemper for some reasons. If you are in a tour and you travel with your amps, usually in the first days they work really nice. But when they travel, they get transportation in the cases, they throw them in the flights, whatever, and the tubes don't like that. Yeah. So after a week, your amp will probably not sound the same anymore because the tubes changed. And if you play 150 shows like we do, you would need so many repair sessions to keep the equipment in the same state, that it's not cool. I want exactly my sound every night. I want it to be the same, and I don't like sound checks. I want my setup, the guys can set it up, I come to the stage, I play. But with an amp, this is not possible. Yeah. You have to adjust, you have to see, okay, how do the tubes sound today? What can I do to fix it? and all that is lots of time that you spend and that you could relax. Now I have a camper. I feel relaxed because I know I go to the stage. I have my sound. And even if I lose, let's say 10% in the high end, you will not realize that. But these 90% I have, they are steady. So I prefer that.
And to finish up, do you warm up much before a show?
Yes, because the songs we play, some solos are really, really fast, and you cannot just, or I cannot just play them out of nothing. I need to warm up, let's say 1 hour, and do my little tricks before the fingers are able to play that speed and that accuracy that I need for these stuff, for these solos. And I do that every day, but it's fun and it keeps me in good shape.
You still enjoy touring?
Well, yes.
You still enjoy touring?
Let's say I really enjoy the shows.
Okay.
But I really hate the traveling.
It's understandable.
Being in airports half of the time and waiting for planes to arrive, sitting in waiting halls, that is all very uncomfortable. And and the most uncomfortable thing for me is waking up 5 in the morning when I have to play a show at 10 in the night. So that is probably understandable. So the traveling part is the shit part, but when it comes to the show, I enjoy every second from the start to the end. It's just, that's what I wanted to do since I'm a kid, and I still love it.
Cool.
Right,
André, thank you very much for your time. All the best for the show tonight.
Thank you for the nice interview.
And I'll see you in the pit, and then I'll see you in Portugal.
Great.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.